downtown San Diego, and I was really struck at what they've done in this city. It's beautiful. And there's still some work to do, I guess, what they have in their plans down the way, but that's a look at it from the Coronado Island. But it's really pretty.
Yeah.
You got the train running right through town. I love it.
And a trolley with mass transit from downtown right out here to Qualcomm in Mission Valley. Yeah, I used to lease this town, Keith.
They don't have anybody running into the trains down here, but we got them running into the buses up in Los Angeles. I don't know. All right, here we go. It's third down and one. And the ball is on the 33-yard line, and they go back to Adrian Peterson, who's come back in the ball game, and he slashes to the 30 and has the first down.
Time for our Pacific Life game track. Adrian Peterson now has 9 carries for 54 yards here in the second half and a bloody forehead. J.D. Runnels caught this 17-yard pass from Rhett Bomar, put it up 10-7 for the Sooners. Then Kewan Jones from 8 yards out, 17-7. Oklahoma in the third quarter outgained Oregon 169 to -9.
Wow.
That is a wow.
Jones is in there. Peterson out for a little more rest, and Bomar keeps the ball, rolls out, throws on the run, pass complete to Kelly. Kelly is brought down by Finney, but it's going to be very close to another first down. Now, it is a first down.
I don't know if Bob Stoops is a faith healer or not. We've got a Haloti Natas down on the field for Oregon. Like he got his knee rolled up on, but Bomar with a bad right hand continues to throw strikes.
Officials timeout. Injured player.
They really feel that Malcolm Kelly's going to be a star for the Sooners at 6'4", 204, just a freshman. Good speed, good hands.
Nata is the core of the defense for Oregon. Now you see him working on Adrian Peterson.
Would like to thank NBC Channel 739 for all of their promotional support.
Yeah,
that could be a knee injury there for Haloti.
Hyperextension, didn't it?
He battled ankle injury all year long.
Well. Well, I think everybody anticipates, though he has not confirmed, but he's almost said that he's going to professional football because he wants to help his family. He's quite a fellow. He's fun to sit down and visit with him. He's an interesting young man. Big, interesting young man. Adrian Peterson is back in there. He's got the ball coming this way. He runs over one tackler and goes out of bounds at about the 3. Maybe they're going to put him at the 5.
He just has too much speed to get around the corner and then too much power when he confronts a tackler. Look at the speed to get around the corner here. Now he's going to lower his shoulder, run over a defensive back, Finney, then try to stretch and get in the corner of the end zone.
Davin Joseph was the man that helped him turn the corner, though. He kept the road open for him. And it's first and goal, Oklahoma at the Oregon 5. Peterson's in there as the deep back. Gets the ball and goes to the 2 before Devin Long brings him down.
Yeah, people forget because he had that ankle injury for most of the year. But Adrian Peterson would finish second in the Heisman voting 2 Heisman votings ago when he lost out to Matt Leinart. But you can certainly put him in the favorite category for next season, especially the way he finished the season and the way he's playing in this second half tonight.
Well, Bob Stoops told me yesterday that he was not entirely healed yet from that ankle. It was apparently a severe sprain.
Well, according to Stoops, nobody's hurt.
That was during the quiet of lunch. Ball is handed to Peterson again, and he goes hammering into the middle.
He lost the ball.
Fumbled the ball, and Oregon's claiming they've got it.
He was stretching for the end zone, and Trucks came away with it.
I don't think the officials have agreed with that verdict yet.
Well, Trucks ripped the ball out of his hands as he was trying to break the plane with the ball.
The ruling on the field, the runner was knocked down on bodies of players, fumbled the ball, first down.
He definitely was not down. He was on top of the stack, and as he reached the ball for the goal line, Dan's right, Trucks took it away from him.
That's the third fumble recovery for Trucks. This is a gift from Adrian Peterson. Too far away from the goal line to stretch out and try to break the plane. Stoops claiming he was down. The officials saw it differently.
He was rolled up on top of people.
What a big break for the Ducks. Could have been a real killer right there.
He's called timeout. Bob has.
Timeout. Oklahoma. Second team timeout.
At college football, you know, you don't have a red flag to throw and risk a timeout. You're at the mercy of the officials. While you're watching the replay of what we just saw with Peterson at the goal line, Holly Rowe was listening, and she says,
well, William Lemonier, the referee, just had a lengthy conversation with Bob Stoops and says, look, Bob, he was on top of bodies while he was stretching the ball out. So even though it looks like he was down, his knee never hit the playing surface or the field. He was laying on top of people. He had a lengthy conversation with Stoops. Stoops seemed satisfied with it, walked away, and just shook his head.
And it's Oregon's ball, first down at the 1-yard line. Dixon is under center. Dvorak looking right at the center. Pitch it back to Dixon. He throws it deep. And there are two centers covering the man going deep. Demetrius Williams. And the pass is incomplete. Holy cow.
You know, Dixon almost stepped out of the end zone.
Yes, he did.
He was about a foot and a half from stepping on the back line for a safety. We're talking about pulling out of the hat here. Look at how close he is. And he takes a big hit from C.J. Ayu. Ayu has 2 sacks on the night already as Dixon unloads it as far as he possibly can.
On 2nd and 10, Dixon in the end zone, throwing it out to Terrence Whitehead, who gets to the 5-yard line. The Oklahoma defense has just absolutely destroyed the Oregon offensive line here in the second half of play.
And you know that makes Bob Stoops happy, being a former defensive coordinator. Led by Dvorak, 94. Ayu's having a great night, number 99. And the push in the middle there by Ayodele just forces Dixon to put that one up for grabs.
3rd down, call it 6. They gave him 4 on the pass play from the 1 to the 5. He goes back to the spread. Throws in the middle, and it is incomplete. The ball was thrown very, very hard, and Demetrius Williams had to go right through his hands. I mean, it was really hummed. Here's Todd.
Well, Keith, the problem you and Dan both know, it starts with that offensive line. And during that last possession, Steve Greatwood, the Oregon offensive line coach, said, fellas, you are worrying about the linebackers too much and not getting the guy in front of you. That, plus, we've got to have some kind of protection on the edges. We cannot get to the next level unless you guys take care of business up front.
That's pretty basic. Goes back to that old homily. The fancy halfbacks need the big uglies up front to do it. That's a pretty good kick. It runs the receiver all the way back to the 44-yard line. Jawan Rankins is still searching for running room and finding a little bit as he wiggles his way down the field. That's a heck of a return. He got it down inside the 35-yard line. That's a 50-yard punt and a 21-yard return by Jawan Rankins. Capital One Bowl Week, 2 great games on ESPN. South Carolina and Missouri in the Independence Bowl. Then you've got at 7:30 Eastern 2 of the top 10 ranked teams of the country banging heads. That'll be Miami, LSU in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And in the middle, you've got the College Game Day Bowl special presented by Outback Steakhouse.
Huge defensive series for Oregon. They got kind of lucky the last time when they ripped the ball away from Peterson on the 1-yard line. Great field position one more time for the Sooners.
Nata's not in there now, remember. He has not returned to the ball game since leaving with an injured knee.
And his replacement, David Fa'atete, with the play that time, number 90.
David Fa'atete.
Well, he's not a bargain either. He's a 300-pounder. Here's Todd.
Well, Haloti Ngata is on the sideline. They were putting through a series of drills working the knee. It does not look like it's a major injury, but it's just catching on him. So they've got it on a big bag of ice because that's what you need for Haloti Ngata. He is now on the bench with a leg propped up. Ice does not look like he's coming back anytime soon.
11 minutes roughly to play in the ball game. And this play will go just about the line of scrimmage for Adrian Peterson. He's at a not up to his norm because the Oregon defenders for a long time were really rough, but they have not held up through the second half. Patrick Chung wobbling around.
Now this defense is getting worn out by the Sooners and by the field position. In the second half, they've had 5 possessions with an average start of their own 44-yard line. They're just playing on half a field this entire second half.
Omar dropping back, trying to set up something for Peterson, but he couldn't get the screen set up as Oregon's defense knocked down the ring of blockers, and he threw it in the ground.
Yeah, it was a good play by Devin Long to get in the middle of that. He felt the lineman leaving. And there's Patrick Chung. He's probably not going to be able to continue. He's in all kinds of pain right now. But a good 3 and out, perhaps, for the Duck defense. Don't be surprised if the Sooners don't try a fake here, though.
Chung is out, and Demetrius Spates has come into the ball game, replacing him. Now here's Cody Freeby in for the ball game, and the punt for how many times? This will be 5 on the night. Longest 52, shortest 32.
And the key for Oklahoma is their personal protector, is their fullback, J.D. Runnels, right there. And he has run from punt formation this season.
Caught a touchdown pass tonight.
That's that delay of game. We'll see if Oregon accepts it.
Still 4th down.
Well, they want to give him a little room, but sometimes you're better off to be able to go ahead and swing your leg. Get into that pooch punt business, and sometimes it blows up on you. Justin Fennessy is the man waiting for Oregon, and I don't know if they might take another 5-yarder. Nope. Snap it. He tries to kick it very high and does. Now let's see what happens to the bounce. Well, it's caught by Fennessy down at what, about the 9-10 yard line. So they don't have much in the way of field position again.
Moving forward.
Downtown San Diego, the skating rink for the holidays. That's Horton Plaza. And it's had a lot of action.
For the Oregon Ducks at their own 9-yard line.
And the Sooner Schooner. Those little guys. The one on the left hasn't done much pulling tonight. That's quite a long trip for them. This is Jonathan Stewart carrying the ball for Oregon, and from the 9-yard line he'll get it out to about the 15 for a 6-yard pickup.
You see Oregon's trying to change the tempo right now, going without a huddle and trying to get some fresh legs in there. Jonathan Stewart is the 230-pound freshman with great power and speed.
Tim Day, the tight end.
To number 85, Tim Day.
That's short of the first down.
Touchdown by number 1, Reggie Smith.
Third down and about a yard.
It's a gain of 3. Third down and 1 from the 18.
Day's a big guy, 6'4", 260. Takes up a lot of space. Here's Dixon throwing the ball to the sidelines. Too high. And DJ Wolf was all over Demetrius Williams. If it had been a perfect pass, I'm not sure that he could have caught it, because Wolf was in his shirt.
And it's another 3 plays and out for the Oregon offense, as the field position has been very bad here in the fourth quarter. They started their last drive on the 1, this one on the 9, and still unable to pick up a first down.
Well, and what? That'll make it 5 possessions now. They've done very little.
Dragons to kick for Oregon.
Been 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Holiday Bowl record in attendance tonight, too. Here's the punt away by Dragic. That's a good one. It's a tight spin on it. Goes back to Rankins. Rankins from the 37-yard line will get back to about the 40 and stop there. 2001 Holiday Bowl game. Oregon quarterback Joey Harrington had one of those nights you remember forever. He caught a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, threw a touchdown as they held on and beat the Texas Longhorns. Longhorns dropped 2 touchdown passes in the final possession, though, to help, and the Ducks won it 35-30. Joey, those were good times for Joey. This particular past season hasn't been a whole lot of fun for him.
Had a great career at the University of Oregon. Last time the Ducks were 11-1, trying to get to 11-1 tonight.
Out the middle on the play, the ball is handed to Peterson, who's been in and out much of the second half, and when he's been in, he's been a holy terror. He is the one, as much as anybody, who has triggered what has happened as Texas has ran off 14 points, 2 touchdowns in the third quarter to take a 17-7 lead.
Yeah, he's really led by example tonight in the second half with some of the most creative runs you'll ever see, just refusing to go down, refusing the hole, trying to find something, and just picked up his entire Sooner offense.
Bomar's pass thrown to the sidelines, and the pass is caught by Malcolm Kelly. Malcolm Kelly's had a big night too for Oklahoma. This is the way Oklahoma finished the season, though, boy. They played some tough football the last 6 games, and I'm still not sure about what that Texas Tech game that wasn't a phantom touchdown. Because the longer you look at it, the more you doubt it.
And you know what, Keith? I think we might just take another look at it, too.
Otherwise, they'd want to run off for 6 in a row to finish the season, which would have put them at 8-3.
Well, they had a disappointing postseason last year when they lost to SC in the title game, but they look like they want to be contenders next year off of tonight's performance.
Deep. Incomplete, intended for Kelly. Covering on the play was Aaron Gibson, and again, Gibson was running the pattern.
Well, Keith, you asked for it. Here it is. Did he or didn't he? Torian Henderson of Texas Tech was awarded this touchdown on the last play of the game against Oklahoma. Tech players calling for the touchdown signal, and they get it. And the whole town of Lubbock goes crazy. Sooner fans don't want to see this bad call again, but here it is in slow-mo. Henderson's down, stretches the ball over as the Red Raiders get the call and the win. That was OU's only loss in their last 6 games.
You never know what'll happen until you try. Timeout, Oklahoma. More on Adrian Peterson's plight tonight with Holly.
Well, guys, last year, Adrian Peterson was at the Heisman Trophy presentation, and I had the honor of interviewing him. But I knew that this was a special young man while we were waiting in the commercial break. He said, "Boy, you seem really nervous." I said, "I am. It's the Heisman Trophy presentation." He said, "Well, ma'am, just do what I do before a big game. Take a deep breath." I couldn't believe this 18-year-old was calming me down. That told me that he was something special as far as his maturity goes, and he continues to show it here in his sophomore season. Dan?
Let's take a look at that Heisman Trophy ceremony from 2 Heisman seasons ago. Quite a list here. Alex Smith, high school teammate of this man, Reggie Bush, here in San Diego. The eventual winner, Matt Leinart. There's Adrian Peterson right there, and his quarterback, Jason White. 3 Heisman Trophy winners in that picture. Here were the final results as Peterson finishes second to Leinart. And he'll be looking to make a return trip to New York next season.
A fellow named Quinn sitting in South Bend. Going to be a big contender.
Yeah, and a fellow down in Austin, Vince Young, who says he's coming back to the Longhorns. That'd also be a factor.
Lindale White hasn't made up his mind yet. But if they all stay, then they'll let go. Little play action for Bomar's pass to the sidelines, underthrown, and he took a pretty good rap from Darius Sanders, who's been in his shadow all night.
You know, Keith, you and I have seen a lot of football games. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback, and this is the 3rd time we've seen the Sooners this year, I've ever seen a quarterback get hit as hard as Red Bomar does. He's just totally oblivious to the pressure, does whatever it takes to get the ball off, and he gets hit by the tackler, and then he gets hit and bounces on the ground.
Let's see what happens after Josh Heupel has him for a year. He might not look like the same guy because one of these days he's going to get hurt if he keeps taking big blows like that. A play like that, for example, he took another lick from Anthony Trucks. And Trucks is not the biggest guy on the field, but when he hits you with ferocity.
And that's his 12th sack on the year. That leads Oregon. And it's number 84 coming from the inside there. And he pounds Bomar down on his right shoulder. That's one beat-up quarterback, but a quarterback with a 10-point lead.
And only 7.5 minutes left to go. They need something exciting to happen on special teams. Right about here. And it's Justin Fennessy who's well back there. He's expecting a big one out of Freebie. And it's not. It's a shank coming straight toward the sidelines and eventually going out of bounds. No Oregon player had a chance to get their hands on it. And the Ducks will get the football at about the 22-23 yard line. There are Fifth Avenues and there are Fifth Avenues. This is the heart of the Gaslamp Quarter here in downtown San Diego as the revitalization continues.
Brady Leaf at quarterback for the Ducks.
Brady Leaf is in there at quarterback. And it's an empty backfield for him. So Dixon's unable to do anything. They'll try Leaf. He throws a bad pass. James Finley intended, and we'll spend a minute with Reese Davis.
All right, Keith, SportsCenter 30 at 30 update. In case you're just joining us, Tony Dungy has rejoined the Colts. He will be on the sideline Sunday against the Cardinals. His return coming just a week after his son's death. A.J. Nicholson of Florida State has been sent home by Bobby Bowden for violation of team policy. Will not play in the FedEx Orange Bowl against Penn State. Hollywood, Florida police are investigating an allegation of sexual assault against Nicholson at the team hotel. SportsCenter after the game, Keith.
Thank you. Leaf throws again. This time the ball is caught by Finley, but he only gained minimal yardage out of it. 4 at the most.
This is where Oregon has really struggled tonight. They're 0 for 8 on their last third down tries.
Somebody's got to run past the marker to get and provide a target for the quarterback to get the first down, and they're not doing it. This man doesn't have the mobility of Dixon. May have a better arm and more accurate arm. Pressure's coming. Just a sure shooting. Here they are. Jailhouse, and it is caught. They got past the marker, and he hit him. It's Finley coming up with a catch, and he moves the ball to the 39-yard line. Even with all that pressure coming, Leaf was able to deliver it and get the first.
Well, he had a good look at it. He saw it coming just as we did and stayed cool and delivered the best pass of the night.
Sidearms it to the sidelines. And that's incomplete. Here's Todd.
Well, Keith had a chance to talk with Kellen Clemens just a moment ago. He told me this is the most emotionally draining week of his life, not being able to play in his final game as a senior, and he said how much he wanted to play this Oklahoma team. I asked him what Dan was bringing up earlier, why Oregon hasn't gone longer, and he said quite simply, we cannot protect long enough to get that route off. He says we've got to find some way to get slants, crosses, anything to open this thing up, but right now they cannot go long because there's just not enough time. Keith?
Yeah, and they got to play Oklahoma again next September in Eugene. Low snap picked up by Leaf, throws, dropped. It was in the hands of Finley, and as he turned upfield expecting to be hit, he dropped the ball.
Just trying to do too much, trying to run with the ball before you catch the ball. But again, it's a bad snap from Anoka Lucas. That throws the timing off. That forces Leaf's eyes down to where the ball is. So that's why the ball thrown a little bit behind Finley, but still should have been caught. He had his hands backwards.
So they're looking at 3rd and long again. 3rd and 10. 17-7, the Sooners lead. Ball is thrown into the Sooner bench, incomplete. He had to loop it up over the attackers and threw it too high and too far. Now it's 4th down and 10.
Now that was Larry Burdine giving the pressure there for the Sooners from his defensive end spot. Good for Oklahoma to see him back in the lineup. Had a bad injury to his left elbow.
Here's your ball game right here.
Could be.
4th and 10. The ball is on their own 39-yard line. They don't get it. Sooners might stick it in the end zone, at least get 3. Goes the other way. Whitehead. He's going to get it. He's going to get a lot more. They finally knock him out of bounds at the 39-yard line of Oklahoma. Darian Williams saved the touchdown.
Now maybe that's what Oregon should have been doing all night, is going for it on 4th down. They're 2 out of 3 there. One was a fake punt by Matt Dragic. This is really well designed. Whitehead is number 24. And it's a sprint out to the right, throwback screen all the way across the field. And he's got a pretty good convoy out in front. Lucas with the block right there. And then Whitehead getting out of bounds after picking up a huge 1st down for Oregon.
21 yards on 4th and 10 to keep their hopes alive. 5:45 to play in a ball game. Leaf turns and wanted to go deep. Nobody there. A lot of green grass, so he takes off and spins down to the 30, and he's right on that marker.
Well, he's close enough to where they ought to take a look at it to see if it is a 1st down. Appears to be about 6 inches short, though. But you notice that time he went for the 1st down, didn't go down, didn't turn down the contact.
So the crowd of 65,416, which is a Holiday Bowl record, beginning to wake up a little bit as the action has been revived by the Oregon Ducks in this surge. Leaf's pass is completed to Finley. And Finley is thrown down at about the 23-yard line, 22-yard line, and that's a 1st down.
But Holiday Bowl observers and people who have come to this game for 28 years now know that this game itself has a great history of fantastic finishes. Are we going to have another one tonight?
By Williams. Tough catch by Demetrius.
Yeah, Yeah, I almost looked at the way that play was first executed, that Williams might have been looking to pitch the ball back to Jonathan Stewart on the hook and ladder. You know what the key to that is, don't you?
No.
A good hook.
What goes into it? Back goes Leaf, throws. He's got a man. He's got another first down.
Yeah, he's close.
He's pretty close.
James Finley.
Finley has suddenly become the prime target. He tried to turn his body so he could fall downfield, and the defender wouldn't let him.
Yeah, they're used to having success. You don't win 10 games with not knowing how to finish games. Oregon has all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but they got to quit wasting time. They got to stick it in the end zone soon.
It's 3rd down and 1. Thrown out to Finley. He may not get that first down. He's going to lose. That was not a good decision. Reggie Smith came up and dropped him for a loss. That was a slow developing play. It was an obvious play, and it backfired.
And they're going to have to force Oregon now is going to have to use that first time out. Great reaction, though, by Reggie Smith. You talk about the receivers, the young receivers for Stoops' team. A lot of freshmen. Well, Reggie Smith is a freshman starting at safety for Oklahoma, making a big play there.
Why wouldn't you go with a slant there? Why wouldn't you go with a slant, something bang-bang like that?
Yeah, they've thrown that bubble screen right there, but it was the speed and recognition by Smith that got in there before the other wide receivers could come up and block him.
Paul Finnegar and Fresno State will be going against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. That's a couple of teams that average a lot of points themselves, over 30 a game. That's the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Week, ESPN Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. They're looking at 4th down now.
A lot of choices for Oregon with this spread offense. On the last 4th down play, they threw the ball to Whitehead. When you have a condensed field here, such as they are right now with the ball in the red zone, a running back out of the backfield is a very dangerous weapon, as is a big tight end. But Tim Day has 0 touchdown catches this year after catching 12 in his previous 3 years with the Ducks.
The ball is right on the 16-yard hash mark. It is 4th down and a short 4. More like 3, actually, because the marker is just beyond.
They're going to go for a field goal,
13.
Keith.
But now the kicking team comes trotting on the field.
Not a bad decision. This would, if it's good, would cut the lead.
It's not going to be a field goal. They got a man going to the corner of the end zone, and that gets a penalty flag.
Well, they tried all kinds of trick plays. What a brilliant call by Bellotti. Because Leaf is the holder, split Day out to the wide side, and if he wasn't interfered with, he might have caught this ball. But you know, the ball looked like it was sailed out of bounds. This might be ruled
going out of bounds. Yeah.
Be uncatchable.
Eric Bassey was the defender for
Pass
Oklahoma.
interference, 13 on the defense. Spot foul, automatic, first down.
I tell you what, that's a bad call. This ball landed 5 yards out of bounds. This was uncatchable. Look at Bassey hustle out there to find Day, but watch where this ball lands. Not even in the chalk, which is a good 3 yards wide. Oh, Oregon got away with one there.
3-yard line where it's 1st and goal, Oregon.
Heads up play by Bassey, though, to prevent the touchdown. But that ball was uncatchable.
It is 1st and goal on the 3 for the Oregon Ducks. They're down by 10 points, 3:34 to play in the game. Low snap, Leaf gets it. Lost a high one into the end zone. It is touchdown. Tim Day, who hadn't caught a TD pass all year, and suddenly the big guy is involved in 2 big plays, and one of them was the touchdown.
Yeah, got it over Darian Williams. Williams goes 5'10", Day goes 6'4". 2 big plays by Tim Day back-to-back as Oregon is going to make this a finish.
To pull within 3. Paul Martinez. Keefe holds it. The kick is good, but the whistle before the ball, or just as the ball was being snapped.
Ball start, 85 offense.
Wow.
5-yard penalty.
Tim Day makes two great plays and now makes a mistake. You take the point off the board and back them up 5.
And you know, Martinez has struggled with extra points all year long. He started the year just miserably in his inability to make the extra point. Just squeezes that one in.
Whoa, just barely. 17-14. Wow.
You know, Keith, Brady Leaf had his choice of receivers on this play. Watch number 6, Demetrius Williams. As we freeze it right there, there's Finley right there. As we run this a little bit, you'll see both of them are wide open, and the only guy that's covered in the end zone by 2 guys is Tim Day, and who gets the touchdown? Going up high, picking up his first touchdown of the season. Happy holiday, Tim Day. But you know, you even look at Cameron Colvin, number 80, he was breaking open in the end zone with nobody around him.
Yeah, fate is a fickle thing, isn't it? 17-14 now with 3.5 minutes to play. Onside kick here, or do you kick it away?
You kick it away because you have 2 timeouts. Now Oklahoma's lining up in the wrong end of the field. The receiving team went to the west end of the field, and now they get it straightened out. Now Oregon should kick this one off. They've got some momentum. They've got to be able to stop Adrian Peterson and Stoops' offense.
Well, Matt Evanson has a big leg. He's capable of kicking the ball out of town. So if he can keep them from having any kind of return here, it'll mean a lot.
Number 23, Alan Patrick.
Or if he can get it very high in the air,
Evenson to kick for the Ducks.
would give the cover team a chance to come down and make the play. Well, here it is. He's going to kick it on the ground, bouncing around, and it's gravy bounce, and the Sooners handle it up around the 33-yard line, and that's where they will possess it. J.D. Runnels is the man that caught the ball, and here's Todd.
Well, new life in the Oregon sidelines. You can imagine. I just talked to the referee and I asked him, was that ball ruled uncatchable because he was interfered with it? He said exactly. They felt that he could have caught that ball had he not been bumped right there. Now, Dan, he would have been pretty tall, and I don't know how high Tim Day can jump, but you bring up a good point. He said, though, that if he would not have been interfered with, he would have made the catch.
Yeah, Superman wouldn't have made that catch.
Had the opportunity, maybe. Whatever. It's now Oregon's big problem to stop Oklahoma's offense. And a guy named Peterson just tucked it away and got 2 yards when it looked like he would lose 2.
Yeah, but he went out of bounds and stopped the clock. That's more important right now than anything. This thing right there, that 3:23.
Second down and 8 coming up for the Sooners. Kewan Jones is down in the backfield with Bomar. 2 wideouts to the top. Maybe changing his play here. Better hurry.
That's the illegal motion right there.
Kewan Jones cuts back inside, and I don't see any laundry.
Well, there should be, because Bomar was moving, as was Kewan Jones when the ball was snapped.
Number 31, Justin Finnessy.
Second team timeout.
Oregon calls the timeout to stop the clock, and no call on what you were talking about. 3:15 to play in the ball game. Now you can see the clock up there in the right-hand corner.
Well, watch Bomar moving around now. Jones is going to move. The ball is snapped, and they're both still in motion. Good run by Kewan Jones.
They'll be looking at 3rd down and 4 when action resumes after this timeout at 3:15 to go. A 3-point ball game, 17-14. Sports Center will be along when we conclude our ruckus out here in San Diego. It was a yawner for a while there with Oklahoma sitting on a 10-point lead and Oregon's offense ineffective. But then all of a sudden, the worm turned.
And Bob Stoops' brother, Mike Stoops, the head coach at Arizona, knows Brady Leaf well because Leaf had to come off the bench after Kellen Clemens was injured and Dennis Dixon was injured and lead the Ducks to a narrow win.
Now the Sooners spread them out sideline to sideline. On 3rd and 4, Bomar's pass is incomplete, intended for Kelly, defended by Finney. Now it is 4th and 4, and obviously the Sooners will punt.
Well, Finney has 4 interceptions of his own this year. He's a senior. Did a great job of not making contact or wrapping that left arm around the body of Kelly and got his right hand in when the ball came. This is where he's most dangerous, though. He's one of the top returners in the country, and he loves the middle return. Took one back 69 yards against Mike Stoops' Arizona team this year.
Sooners were a man short, waiting for the punting team to get organized, and now they're ready with Freebie. Last time was a shank, 30 yards. Ducks coming hard. Kick is away. It's a low one, and it's on the field of play, and it's rolling around inside the 25 and dead at the 23. So there, the Oregon Ducks will get the ball with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play in the ball game, and they trail by 3 points.
And the big thing here is that with a lot of time and a timeout to use, they just need a field goal to tie this one up. Martinez has a 51-yarder this season. And so does Matt Evenson. He's got a 51-yarder. So either field goal kicker for Oregon can reach from distance.
First down and 10 for the Oregon Ducks from their own 22-yard line.
So Brady Leaf is in the catbird seat as far as posture, and that ball is pitched to Whitehead. He broke the hold of a couple of Oklahoma defenders and got out of trouble. Holy cow, how did he catch it? And secondly, how did he get away?
He did his Adrian Peterson imitation is what he did. He got right in the hole and just backed up, kept his legs going. Here it is, Keith. 2 Sooners collide, and Whitehead comes out free.
Well, he's not a gimme. He's 244 pounds. He's a big guy. Bad pass. Whoa, almost picked off.
Well, Ingram almost picked that one off and should have. The ball was thrown low. If it's not thrown low, not only does Ingram pick it off, he scores.
Right.
This would have been his 5th pick of the year, trying to hit Tim Day.
There was nobody between him and the goal line. I mean, it was clean on that side of the field.
Yeah, he scored on one against Tulsa this year.
Where's Demetrius Williams? Come to this side to Whitehead. Whitehead gets loose. He's got a first down. He's across midfield. He's still going. He's finally brought down at the 35-yard line by Eric Bassey.
And Whitehead did exactly the same thing against Fresno State earlier this year when they needed it. Same type of play. A screen pass to Whitehead. Came into the game with 46 catches behind a lot of good blocking and determination. Watch him cut back against the grain here. Picking up blockers, heading down the field vertically, and setting his team up in real close to field goal position.
Jeremiah Johnson comes into the ball game. He is the tailback. You got to get Whitehead out and let him get his breath after that play. I don't know where Stewart is. Maybe they're afraid that Stewart, who's had some fumble troubles.
Well, Johnson is a better receiver, Keith, than Stewart. Johnson runs the same type of plays as Whitehead does. That's why he's in the game right now. On first down, they go to Johnson.
He's not that big, and they handle him. He's an even 200 pounds at 5'9", and Dvorak takes him down after he picks up about a yard.
You know Dvorak's going to be playing hard in his last game as a Sooner. He missed the game last year when the Sooners played the Ducks. That was the first game of when he was kicked off the team. He's very excited to end his career with the Sooners against the Ducks, and he makes a huge play here on first down.
Second down and 9.
Second down and 9. Leafs pass down the middle is incomplete. And Finley is yelling for interference on Williams, but gets no call. They got tangled up. The ball was thrown sharply. If he breaks away from Williams, he scores.
Watch the right hand of Williams just punch that ball out. Great timing. We just saw Justin Finney with a play just like that when the Sooners had the ball. Big play there that time by the sophomore Darren Williams.
34-yard line. It's third down and 9. A minute and a half to go. All kinds of movement along the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Palani Masoon jumped offside.
5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Concentration, concentration, concentration.
Well, basically that penalty takes them out of any chance of kicking a field goal on fourth down if this play is incomplete pass. That's how big that false start was. But Oregon, you know, will go for it on fourth down. Looking to just get half of it here on this third down and 14.
Leafs got to throw the ball. Now throws it to Jeremiah Johnson, and Johnson gets loose and gets a first down. Holy cow.
Yes, he does have to throw the ball, and he finally got around to it.
Oh, man.
And he found a freshman. You don't talk about his scrambling ability, but you talk about the fact he doesn't get rattled. Look at Latimer right in his face, keeping his wits about himself, putting the ball right on Johnson. Johnson gets out of bounds, and the Ducks are still alive.
1:17 to play. Leaf runs it up into the middle.
But you know, the bad snap just took that whole play and threw it in the trash can. Just been a problem all night for Anoka Lucas with Dusty Dvorak on his nose. The ball has come back low and just throws the timing off, especially on an option play, as that one appeared to be.
Second down and 9 from the 19.
Whitehead's back. Leafs pass intercepted by Clint Ingram. And that's your door slammer.
There's a flag down on the field, but that's for excessive celebration. And why not, Clint? Your 5th pick of the year. That just saved the game, because that was going to be a touchdown to Demetrius Williams if the ball's thrown 2 inches higher. Great job by Ingram stretching out and picking that one off.
Following the interception, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 44. That'll be half the distance to the goal. First down, Oklahoma.
Clint Ingram, one of the 4 senior captains. Great play.
You can see Williams was behind him, but the ball is thrown too flat by Leaf. What an athletic play, and I'm not so sure that this action right here is unsportsmanlike. I think that's just a kid having fun and winning a game for his coach and his team.
So the Oklahoma Sooners with the ball and only 33 ticks remaining on the clock, and Oregon with what, 1 timeout remaining?
Yep.
schools out. This baby's over. 17-14. I guess, like Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over, so let's wait till the clock runs out.
A heck of an effort by Brady Leaf, leading the Ducks down. They were within field goal range there. Field goal would have tied it, but the Sooners going crazy.
Our Capital One player of the game, well, you just saw him, number 44, Clint Ingram. 5th interception of the season. This one seems to have saved the game for the Sooners to give them their 8th win on a season, and started out with a great deal of difficulty for them. They played 12 freshmen along the way, and they all grew together. And here's the play.
Williams was behind Ingram. Ingram with great speed, recognition, athletic ability, and finished the play.
Take a knee and roll the clock. 31 seconds. Penalty flag.
And that stops the clock.
That stops the clock.
Rhett Bomar slams the ball down. That's going to be another one of those unsportsmanlike penalties.
Number 7, half the distance to the goal, 3rd down.
Now you move him back half the distance. Now a knee becomes a little bit more of a problem.
Yes, it does.
Boy, I wouldn't want to get anywhere near that man right now. Just excited, that's all. He slammed that ball down because he thought the game was over and that the Sooners had won.
It's 3rd down.
He might be forced to take a safety here, and that wouldn't be all that bad a deal because they're only, well, clock has started again, and now a delay of game penalty is being called.
Offense, charge to number 7.
Not sure why the game clock started
Still
there.
3rd down.
They wound the clock and they rolled the clock once the mark-off on the penalty had been made. I'm not sure that after that kind of a penalty that the clock stays stopped, does it?
I think so.
Now taking a knee is a different critter, but that'll do it. And the game is finally over, and the Oklahoma Sooners have won the ball game by a score of 17-14. Well, it got pretty exciting in that final minutes of the 4th quarter, but Oklahoma won the ball game in the 3rd quarter when they scored 2 touchdowns. And then Clint Ingram's interception made it stand up, and your final is a win for the Sooners. Here's Holly.
Coach Stoops, what happened there at the end?
Well, we made some foolish plays, and we go and get a personal foul and stop the clock. You know, just need to play smarter, but we did what we need to do and won.
Told you at halftime the team behind comes back to win. Your offense finally got rolling. What worked with the running game?
I'm glad you reminded me of that. But as I said coming out at halftime, we wanted to get them moving early, get them running, hopefully tire them down, and then hit them in the second half of the running game. It worked for, you know, for a good part of it. I liked in the first half. We were close to making some more plays. We didn't feel we were just strong enough initially just to pound them early. We wanted to try and work them later in the game, and it worked for us.
All right, congratulations, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Final score, Oklahoma 17, Oregon 14, and another great Pacific Life Holiday Bowl game. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Sports Center is next. We'll move over to ESPN News for a post-game extra goodbye from San Diego, California.